Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be doing some L4 missions in Apocalypse. A pretty basic ship, but one that I really love the look of and has a lot of memories to me. I use this occasionally from time to time when I want to experience a bit of nostalgia, but also when I want to fly a ship that I think looks really great. In fact, it's one of my favourite looking ships in the game. And the fit I've got right here is quite decent. It has got a decent amount of DPS, 1.15k DPS. And I'm using a pulse laser fit right here. It's got some decent amount of damage it's able to bring with it. This same ship right here was the same one I used for, I think it was a Winter Nexus event a long time ago, so I did have a lot of various items in here. I even still have Sanshas Ultraviolet L right here. But I had a lot of Overseer personal effects before that I unloaded into my storage bay. So what I'm going to do right here is run some alpha missions, see if we can get this done quickly and smoothly. A beacon of beacons. I've not heard about this mission before. Approach the wrecked ships. I asked for help, and they sent me a Capacitor. You are a Capacitor, aren't you? An immortal pilot. Let's see now. So we see. We've received a distress call from a ship called the Damsel, and you're the closest aid right now. Okay, let's go then and inspect the ruins. That was very low payout though for L4 missions. We are in a 0.8 system, but it's still pretty low. And this is the style sort of payout you see in L3 missions. Did we accept the mission? I don't think we accept the mission properly. No, this mission cannot be accepted. Oh wait, this is the wrong agent. This is not the agent right here. Silly me. Greetings, Acey-Facey. Okay, infiltrated outposts. This right here is a rogue drone mission. Let's get to work. I think that you are able to find elite drone AI here. I'm not 100% sure if you are, but I think you might be able to do that. We'll check. So destination to Akari. I wish there were more PvE activities that would be suited for the apocalypse right here. There are not so many really good ones. There's basic ratting and nullsec, which is a big one. Then L4 missions, there's a big one as well. Apart from that, the events, they are possible, but they're not really that great. Like, it's a sniper-based ship. Usually you don't need to snipe in these kind of events. Usually you're brawling. Need good tracking and good DPS. I mean, we have some decent DPS, but that's because we've got a lot of modules on our ship right here. Heat sinks, pretty good armor repair, and also pulse lasers with some decent implants. We could have a lot less if we were to go a lot cheaper. The ships like the Vindicator and other kind of blaster-based ships usually are better in these kind of events. But the Apocalypse still can work. It's just that the pulse layers, they just tend to have a lot better range. So it can be good if you need to hit out a bit further in those kinds of events. But stuff like Chuglavian hunting, it's not that suited. You don't have enough range to really snipe properly there. I think maybe if you really hyper-focus on Tachyon beam laser style Apocalypse, you could do Chuglavian hunting. That might be a test for some another day. But it wouldn't be that effective because Tachyon beam lasers, they're really not that great. They have very bad DPS. Let's swap to location. And another bad thing about them is that they are really hard to fit. They consume so much power grid. I don't think there's any weapon that consumes more power grid than Tachyon beam lasers. Tachyon beam lasers. If you don't know what Tachyon beam lasers are, I should explain. It's the long-range weapon of battleships. So fitting, power grid, 3.7k. Railgun. Let's see now. If we have the biggest railgun we can get, how big is that? So 2,300. So you see that they consume quite a bit more power grid. Torpedo launcher to 1,700 in fact power grid. So the Tachyon beam lasers consume a crazy amount of power grid. I can't even fit a full flight of Tachyon beam lasers in the Apocalypse without any additional modules to assist the power grid. Tachyon, we can just go into the room. Tachyon beam laser tech 2. You see here, like a full rack is not enough for the Apocalypse power grid. And I don't think it's the ship itself, it's just that the module is so power grid intensive. And that we're using 8 turrets as well. Pulse lasers are a lot nicer because they're a bit more lenient on the capacitor. Infiltrated outposts. Let's go. Can do optimal range, perhaps? Scorch, maybe? That's some decent range, actually. Some really good range. Imperial Navy, maybe. That's got a bit better application. take all these little frigates. I go for these guys right here. Yeah, that's good. Look, we can do a lot of damage to multiple targets right here. That's great, that's great. Maybe we don't need this many groups, but we could still split up our damage to take out the frigates if we want. Let's see now, if we split up the groups in something like this, to 4 maybe? Do something like this and this. Popped. And then popped. Or we can even go conflag here, this one. So we can go for this battle cruiser. Yeah, that's really great. Conflagration. 1.1k DPS. The drones do assist in that, getting that DPS though, so it's not all from the pulse lasers, unfortunately. There's a viral infector album. Shoot, please. Thank you very much. I think the Apocalypse is a good mission for the is a good ship suited for this mission as well, because these guys have low EM resist as well. Rogue drones in general, they usually have a low EM resist in the missions, so it's actually a good idea to use an Omarian ship or beam laser based ship or a laser based ship, because you're going to be doing quite a bit of damage. And we've got the core C-type 500 MN assisting us to get to places quicker. Can maybe split up these guys a bit, something like that. Cruisers, I thought the icon was a frigate, but it was a cruiser in fact. Maybe go for tracking speed, assist a bit in tracking of these guys. 22 optimal, it's still decent optimal, even though it's not like we're using a Marauder with Bastion or anything like that. It's still got decent optimal right here. We're not hitting right now because we're moving, but if we stop then we should get a lot better transversal. Stop, optimal range, and we can also deploy drones too to assist a bit. Oh, that's cool. These icons look a bit different now. Okay, we can recall our drones now. Let's go. Next room. I think this mission is consisting of 2 rooms. So the second one and the final one will be the next one. And something that I really like about the Apocalypse as well, that even though it's an Omarian ships are usually not that quick. They're usually a bit bricky. Like really slow armor-based ships. The Apocalypse has actually got some decent speed. With a 500 MN, you can get 1k a second actually, with not too much difficulty. Let's lock up these little frigates. Go with Scorch. Probably like one-shot them or something like that. Just takes a long time to lock them up because little frigates have small scanning resolutions, or whatever the variable is called, that makes scanning more difficult. Popped. And even though we've got pulse lasers, we're still able to hit out really far, like 80 kilometers. That's really impressive for a quote-unquote short-range weaponry. So I really like it, the pulse lasers over the tachyons, because even though tachyons are great in terms of their range, I don't seem to at least feel like I'm having much issues with range with the pulse lasers. I did used to use tachyons when I was an Alpha Clone, did L4 missions a long time ago. You used to back in the day be able to use Alpha Clones in L4 missions. And then it changed, then you're not able to. But before, when I was able to do that, I would use an Apocalypse, and the Apocalypse was pretty decent. I mean, it was not amazing, but it worked decently with tachyon beam lasers because I just kited everything really well. So I was able to avoid so much of the damage. Even though I didn't have a whole lot of tank, it worked out pretty smoothly because of our ability to kite. But now with me as an Omega clone, I have tons of skills. It makes me a lot more powerful. No, I'm actually able to get decent range with you and just the pulse lasers. And the pulse lasers do so much more damage, and in fact have a lot better tracking. Tachyon beam lasers have basically no tracking. We probably should slowly move towards these guys so we can gain a bit of range. The Apocalypse feels a lot better than I thought it would be. I mean, I think it's because we've got 1.15k DPS, but still, it feels a lot better than I thought a Tech 1 battleship would feel in these kind of missions. You can deploy the drones as well to assist a little bit. Go on one of these battleships. Get a little bit of extra damage. Get MWD pulse cycle as well. We're hardly taking any damage actually. Able to just chew through these guys, no problem. The drone menu is so big. I don't know why it has to be so big. I can barely see what's going on right here with these icons. Is there a way to disable this with the icons? View mode list. Yeah, that's a lot better like this. It looks nice with the icons, but there's just not enough space. Probably I should be focusing firing actually. Focus fire a bit because it's just they're just gonna out-rep our DPS if we split up our DPS so much. And we can have the drones go for this guy next. We do so much damage because of I think the resist bonus from our weapons because they have so little EM resist. I don't think we would otherwise be doing so much damage because it feels really efficient how we're doing so much damage right now. 1.2k volley with the greats, that's really great. Maybe we can have the rogue drones go for battle cruise or something. Maybe even pull a bit of range because they're really close. It's going to be hard to track even the battle cruisers when they're this close. Need to repair up a bit because we're taking quite a bit of damage now from these guys. Keep that rep on. We don't have a whole lot of capacitor. We're not cap stable in this fit, unfortunately. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. And worst comes worst, we can always just pull a bit of range. Use Scorch on them again like we did before. 3k volley. Oof, that's really great. Unfortunately, we're not getting any elite drone AI because there's no drops right here. If we saw some drops, maybe it could be that they were to drop elite drone AI, but they're not. We need to destroy these drone bunkers, actually. That's a mission objective. And that's one shot on that drone bunker, that's easy. Great to see, great to see. That's pretty simple. Have we got any more drone bunkers anywhere? We've got drone structure. No drone bunkers. I'm guessing we just have to destroy the rest of the NPCs. Popped. There we go, mission complete. Let's go back to Kurama. Some cozy little elf missioning in the apocalypse. So right now it's nighttime. I'm just after hours time decided to just go for a bit of elf missioning. I felt like I wanted to go in one of my beautiful ships, the Apocalypse. Have they got new sounds? I think I can hear some special sounds. Might just be the rogue drone structure sound. Let's go to Kurama. I wish in general there was a lot more battleship based PvE events that you could do, or PvE content you can do in HiSec, because a lot of the battleship PvE content, like the anomalies, you find them in low sec and null sec, because like more difficult stuff is found there. But you can't really do much in HiSec because the ones in HiSec are so easy. So then they're mainly suited for destroyers, frigates, at best cruisers, but often destroyers can get through everything in HiSec. So I wish the battleships had more ability to be used in HiSec, because I would love to use this Apocalypse and more things in HiSec, because we've got then mainly the L4 missions like I'm doing now to do in HiSec. But apart from that, there's not a whole lot of stuff. The only thing otherwise I would use this ship for is then to do those events. It would be really great if I was able to do it for Triglavian hunting, but then on the other hand, this ship is not good enough to be used for Triglavian hunting. It's a bit of a dilemma because I really love the look of the ship, and it's somewhat capable, just not capable enough. For the price, it's pretty capable. Talk up here real quick. Talk to Nidukur Serenolf. Complete mission. Okay, 4,000 loyalty points. So that was some quick elf missioning in the Apocalypse. Just wanted to do a little bit of a chill activity right here that is close to Jita. And the Kurama is very closest to Jita, only 3 jumps away, where I can just do a little bit of elf missioning when I feel like it. I think this ship is a really great ship, and even though it's maybe not so practical, I like to use it from time to time just because of how much I love it and the appearance of it. Are there any ships you guys used in a similar way that, okay, maybe it's not so practical, there's a lot better alternatives, but you still use it just because you love the look of it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be curious to hear about that. I know that there's some people who use stuff like certain battleships to mine, because I did do alpha clone mining in an Apocalypse a long time ago, but that was just because it was a very efficient way to do mining as an alpha clone, because they can't use barges. But I can imagine people who really love certain ships would mine in them, because I know that there's a guy called Triba. He uses his Revelation Dreadnought to mine in HiSec, and he's somehow got it in HiSec. I think back in the day you used to be able to use Dreadnoughts in HiSec, so it remained there after the patch. But I'll be curious to know what kind of ships do you use, or maybe there's maybe better alternatives to them in your current career, but you use them from time to time just to relive a bit of nostalgia and admire a really great ship. So I hope you guys enjoyed. That's it for now. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.